Alrighty, episode 144. It should have been a podcast. Real quickly, because we're trying out some new things. Paul, what do you think of the new intro song while I set up the chat rooms and get everything going? What do you think?
Dude, I love it, man. Yeah, that's Quiet Riot. Yeah.
All right. It's all about prompting the AI, and this was done with Suno for everybody who wants to know. And I basically said I'm looking for a Motley Crue era,
Yep.
right, a Slaughter era,
Yep,
a
you
rock
nailed it, dude.
song, and it kept giving me stuff that was too long. So when I finally got this song, which JC had heard, it was like 2 minutes when I first got it. I just clipped it down until I finally got what we have here today, which is 42 seconds. It's about perfect for a podcast intro. So yeah,
Dude,
prompting.
I love it, dude. That's great, man.
Well,
Makes me wanna spike my hair.
or get it out.
Yeah.
It'll get us a little more current, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally gonna get all the young kids in here. Anyways, you brought up a great point, JC, that you didn't know you brought up yet. You were on a tirade about how dumb AOC is, but you haven't gotten to the most important part of it. But please enlighten us as how dumb she is. And hee haw. And
Well, she's okay. What I was saying, Paul, is you probably heard a bit of, is that when I see Ocasio Cortez challenged by, or should I say Sandy Cortez, or whatever the hell her name is, Sandy Ocasio, or whatever she goes by today, whenever I see her interviewed and someone actually asks her a question that she has to think about, I always think of the Mule on the Hee Haw Open with Buck Owens. You know, where you hear the guitar picking, like they're
Yep.
down in West Texas on the ranch, Paul. And then the mule looks out, and there's the corn stalks
Oh,
all
through the
around, and
cornfield.
it,
Yeah.
mule mule
Yeah.
sticks his head out, and then his big fat mouth opens, and he goes, "Hee-haw!" And that's after the eye roll because the mule's trying to think of what to do. That's what I see her doing during interviews where someone actually holds her accountable. And those people in Munich were serious. I mean, they're concerned about geopolitics, and she is just an empty pantsuit. I mean,
That woman asked her
Sandy,
such a serious question, and she just, uh, uh,
well, you can see her
uh
thinking about or trying to
yeah.
go, and she's looking for the slogans.
Mhm.
no, her eyes were rolling and her mouth was twitching,
It's no
and
different
she
than when you
opened her
try to get me
mouth.
to recall something from 1929 when wasn't even alive, and I go and then connect with it. But hold on. All right, so here's what's really important that a lot of people are missing, JC, is that it doesn't matter. She is wildly popular amongst young socialists across the planet, wildly, and she will be a massive,
Yep.
massive contender in the 2028
You're
presidential
absolutely
election.
correct, brother.
Good.
Yep.
And people are like, "Well, she would get destroyed by Rubio in a debate." It doesn't matter because
Yeah.
they like the person. They like the
Yeah.
person. They don't care if the person's dumb. They
Yep.
like the person. It's Legally Blonde, except her name happens to be after a Spanish conquistador called Cortez the Killer. That she has no idea who
Well,
Cortez
Cortez,
the Killer is.
Yeah.
the irony here is that she was criticizing Rubio about talking about cowboys in the West, and the Spanish Cortez was the guy. Oh, stop, Sean. Cortez was the guy who introduced horses to North America. I mean, the irony is so thick you can cut it with a knife.
You can see it. I can see it. I
The
think.
horses
I think
horses
both.
weren't horses weren't here until Spain brought them.
I think most Republicans post 30 years old can easily grasp that or already had knowledge of it. What I'm telling you is her base, which is global, doesn't care. They love her and they want somebody to break the glass ceiling. They had Hillary first. Then they had accidentally Kamala. It wasn't Kamala's fault,
Jesus.
yes or no. Hold on, but this will be the third
Yeah.
Reich of breaking the glass ceiling. She will be so formidable that you will watch a debate, a presidential debate, against whoever our person is. And you'll go, oh my God, they destroyed her. And then you go over on the internet and start just reading or
Yeah.
watching or listening to videos or watching
Yeah.
videos. And all of the young people are going to go, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I
Yeah.
feel so inspired. And by that, they won't just say, I feel inspired. They're like, I'm joining Team AOC and I'm going to get out the vote. I'm literally going to do what we did in 1990s with MTV. I'm going to show up and start registering people to vote. It's a serious problem, and people in the Republican Party are not taking this serious.
Yep. They really are, dude.
Sean, I'm gonna push back on you for a minute.
Go ahead.
What is the Republican Party taking seriously?
I think the Republican Party is taking
Sean, take your time.
Trump's initiative to break down the global post World War II order.
Oh, come on.
Seriously.
They're not even paying any that he's doing that himself.
I'm talking about voters, the Republican voters.
No. I'm talking about the Republicans. What are they taking seriously? Are they going to pass the SAVE Act to keep illegal aliens from voting?
Looks like it.
No, they're not.
No, it looks like it.
No, I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Sometime next,
No, I don't. I
sometime
think
next
Thune
week.
is good. I think Thune is going to stonewall it. It really. They act like we're not even in a fight. They don't take anything seriously. It's not just her. They're controlled opposition. They don't take anything seriously because they are the Washington Generals to the Democrat Harlem Globetrotters.
Let's see 3 weeks from now when the primaries happen.
Okay. Okay.
Throw about 6 weeks from now. I think some of the people you're talking about are going to get primaried.
Well, no, I am interested to see what happens down in Texas, and I want Paul to keep his eye on it with the whole Islamic shit with Sharia law.
Yeah.
I think that's going down 85%. That's what I think.
What do you mean going down 85%?
Well, no, they don't they have an amendment about outlawing Sharia law in Texas?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, in the primary, yeah, they're going to be that's going to be 85% in favor of that.
Maybe.
Sorry to interrupt your dinner, Paul.
Maybe.
Sorry.
Depends on who's allowed to vote, right? Which is why
they're not. Yeah, listen, that's not going to happen. Sharia law is not going to happen. They don't have enough voters.
Yet.
Plain and simple.
Well, right, and the yet only comes out of the SAVE Act. And it's not just Sharia law; it's any other non-legitimate voting.
It's
block.
foreign,
yeah,
foreign nationals is what we're talking
about.
Yeah.
Well,
18 seats in Congress right now. Best estimate are occupied by people who should not be occupying them because of illegals.
You know, I hear people bitch about gerrymandering, and I just say
that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, I think it's funny that people bitch about that, but when the 2030 census happens in 2028 and 2029, the Democrats are going to lose 30 to 40 seats in the House just based off population alone of states that have transferred populations around.
Sean, they were supposed to lose half that number in 2020 and didn't because they cheated.
Yeah, because they cheated.
Right. And Sean, I'm going to ask you, this is the same question. Who's going to stop them from cheating this time? Sean?
Us. Well, the only way is us,
You're right.
right?
You're right. Well, you're right. We're the people that can do it. Look, I had a discussion with a guy, a Canadian dickhead. All right. I mean, there's not much else up there. They're behind. I'm sorry, Edward, but they're behind the iron curtain of, I call it the iron curtain of disinformation. All right. Canada exists in a fact free zone. So there's a lot of preachers of liberal politics that love to spout off about how we're all, you guys like guns and you're the, yeah, shut up, all right? You have you're the size of Tokyo's population. You got nothing to say. I don't want to hear it. You've been tariffing us for years and living high on the hog off our money. So I don't want to hear any crap from you bastards. We got Greenland now. We don't need you. We don't care. All right. If Alberta wants to come on board, let's take them. The hell with Nova Scotia. The hell with Quebec. The hell with all the rest of you. You got to go join Europe. You have fun. Anyway, but my point about Canada is, he said, I haven't seen any proof of election fraud. I sent that son of a bitch 3 binders full of crap on X that those Georgia Patriots have done down in Georgia about the fraud. It
Who
is.
said that?
Oh, these Canadian jackwagons.
Oh, the guy you were talking to?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're assholes. They're saying that election fraud has not been proven in 2020. No, it's been conclusively proven. It wasn't proven by Brian Kemp. It wasn't proven by Raffensperger. It's been proven by American patriots who dedicated their time and left their jobs and got in there and ran the numbers and found out that 315,000 votes before the election. I mean, they gave Biden a 315,000 vote head start, and it wasn't enough. Brett Baer was ready to call it for him at 9 p.m. and he couldn't do it, so they still had to stop everything because of a backed up urinal and pull the suitcases out from under the tables and then double count them and whatever until Biden could squeak out a 10,000 vote win. But the fact, it was a joke, and they've got them. They've got them. There are more than 6 election cases pending in Georgia. All the evidence is in on Dominion voting machines, election irregularities, all this. The evidence has been presented. They've gone all the way to the verdict, and the judges won't render the verdict, Paul. They won't, because they know what the verdict means. The verdict means that Trump won. And the fact is, look it up. It's true. No one talks about it because they don't want to talk about it. I'm personally connected with the patriots that did this, and these Canadian jackwagons send me, you asshole, you haven't proven anything. I said, here it is, suck it, and I pull in 3 or 4 witnesses, and the guy blocks me. All right? No, we got him. Is there an honest prosecutor in the United States?
Well, my first thought is, battle as much as you want to battle on the internet. Well, here's why they feel vindicated in the win is because nobody's been prosecuted in a court of law that proves voter fraud, even though that
Yeah.
I say and you'll say, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, that there's been cases that have been brought. Well, they were dismissed, or that they've never been.
No, they weren't. They were
tried.
litigated, and the verdict is pending, and the judge won't speak.
My point.
Yeah.
My point is, until you get there, you have got nothing against the side that says, see, nothing ever happened. No judge has ever found voter fraud. What you got to do is look at it
Shut
you
up,
gotta
brother.
look
I'm going to
at
have to log
uh,
off.
you've got to look at it from your enemy's standpoint. And your enemy is fully armed and saying, you're a moron, you're a MAGA QAnon because you believe this, but there's nothing that has happened in the court that has said it happened. So we're vindicated.
Okay, so here's my statement for the night. I'm going to let you guys continue without interruption. We all want transparency and accountability in government, right? Paul, agreed?
Agreed, 100%.
Sean, agreed?
Yes, and I also like pizza.
What we have right now is transparency and no accountability.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
The stuff I'm talking about is transparency. Citizen generated, not government generated, but citizen generated, but we still have no accountability. Do you know what that leads to, Sean?
Typically, it's anarchy if you study history.
Bloodshed. That's what it leads to.
Yeah, it doesn't end well.
That's where we're going. That is where we're going. Unless we change course. Did I say something funny?
No.
No, I mean, unless we have some accountability, the transparency is actually counterproductive.
I believe it's counterproductive, and I believe Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ro Khanna have literally destroyed more possible cases than helped with any prosecution available. And I'll say this because they have just exposed all 3, 4, 5 million documents, and now prosecutors are going to go, well, it's public knowledge. How can I possibly
Sean,
prosecute this?
no one was going to anyway. The fact is that Trump's real legacy, Trump's real legacy is that he's the great revealer. Oh, it's revealed, all right. Now the question is, what are you all going to do about it? That's the question. And folks, before I shut my mouth, what are we going to do about
Well, I'm laughing because you're gonna whatever.
it? No, I'm actually going to shut up. I want to know what we're going to do about it.
About Epstein, nothing.
No, I don't mean about Epstein. I mean about all of it.
Dude, Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey and MTG and everyone else. They were looking for a get Trump movement. And if you say, well, no, they weren't, I say, well, anyways, here's your documents. Can you, anybody on the internet that will listen to this, can you provide to me anything in there that is prosecutable? No, the Jeopardy song just finished. There's nothing in there? I mean, was there awful things that probably happened? Yeah, but a lot of it's been just imagined over 20 years like a Disney movie. We don't know what happened other than stories. There's nothing in there that is concrete proof. I also told you.
There's bucket and truckloads of circumstantial evidence.
Yes.
But nothing a good investigator, I mean, a top investigator could not bring a case on because it's you just can't. There's just, like JC says, they're doing all of these things, but you can't. It's not irrefutable. You can't.
Well, Paul,
You can't get a warrant or not a warrant. You can't get an indictment on it.
Yes. Well, and that's Paul. That's where I want to go with. So all of this is out there, and I've already said my beliefs. But when you look at all of this stuff, and you go, "Well, why haven't they done anything?" But then there's 3 million documents out, and the smart people go run it through AI.
Yeah, they run it through AI, and yeah.
and they give us a rundown, and I see nothing prosecutable whatsoever based off of the summaries.
Why did
What do you do?
Pritzker's brother step down and hide?
Because he's already made $27 billion. What does he need to do?
He wasn't going to step down. Why do you choose today?
Because he made $27 billion.
Really,
What does he
JC?
need
No,
to do?
he had made $27
Like,
billion
like,
last week, but he didn't step down last week.
why would he?
Huh?
Why would he? What are they going to find on him?
Oh, they got him if they want him.
Wait, if guilty by association, why has his brother left the governorship of Illinois?
They don't have a memo with his name on it.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Paul.
see,
Go ahead,
no,
Paul.
no.
Shake me out of my pixie dust, brother.
No, no, I'm not. No,
No,
you're right.
I disagree. I don't think he's right. Because there's nothing prosecutable. If there was prosecutable information to go after, I want all of them dropped from a thing.
Sean,
We're on live on multiple platforms, so that I'll
I know
leave
we
it
are.
there. I'll leave it there.
I know
I'm
which one I'm
telling
hung by.
you,
I get it. Yeah, I
there
get it.
was. I told you guys a year ago there was nothing in these files that was going to help you,
Right.
and I'm telling you now. Now that you have them, there is nothing in these files that is going to help you. And in fact, you're asking for the wrong files. However, you can't get the right files because they're top secret or TSCI all the way at the top.
Yeah.
Fair
So that's
enough.
what it is. So when this information is compartmentalized, and it's
Mhm.
been compartmentalized for probably 15 or 20 years. And because it's compartmentalized, there is not a member of an investigative body, including Congress, that can unlock that door to get that compartmentalized top secret stuff exposed. And it's just going to stay that way. It's exactly like the Kennedy file.
Yep.
It's going to be 65 years before somebody can get the decoder
And
ring.
then Congress will do another act to put another
you still
60
can't do
years
it.
on it.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly right. Yeah.
So Paul, all right, as you're rubbing your crystal ball, when will someone get to the Georgia 2020 election?
Again, it's machinations. You know, it's rhetoric, it's machinations, it's gathering of documents that are just short of
No, they're not.
being prosecutable.
No, they're not. They're not short.
If it was, no, JC, if it was, believe me, I think there would be a zealot out there who would say, I'll take this case.
You're out of your mind.
Okay.
You're
That's
out of
fine.
your mind. No.
No,
I mean,
here's
with what
my basis.
Mark Elias has done, and absolutely will tar and feather any lawyer that will prosecute this and deny them any sort of decent job going forward. Most Republican quote unquote Republicans are like Jim Comey Republicans. They're just weak in the knees. They're not going to do shit.
Well, I think that's fine to say about congressmen. I'm just saying, if there was an overzealous prosecutor, young prosecutor, who wanted to make a name for themselves, they would actually absolutely have taken off after some of these things you've talked about. And you could
I'll
go ahead and
send
say,
you.
well, it's because they would just get squashed by the machine or drowned by the swamp. And I say, No. They don't have enough to even make it a public shaming case. They don't.
Yeah, they do.
I think
Yeah,
they
they do.
do. No, I think they do, but I think they're scared because in their own closet they have that stuff
Yeah,
also in different
there you
locations.
go.
So they're not going to bring it to the fore because they're afraid of the retribution that's going to happen from the screech owls on the left that are going to go, what about
All right.
Indiana? What about Nebraska?
Now,
What about Arizona?
now we're getting somewhere. Okay,
Yeah.
because when you start talking about the Uniparty, Georgia is the home court of the Uniparty. Boss Hogs, Georgia. Oh yeah. Boss Hogs, Georgia is the Roscoe P. Raffensperger. Those boys are home of the corruption. And the fact is, you're getting these reports on X from Peter Berniger. You familiar with him?
Yep.
Talking about the smurfing campaign
DC Mafia,
contributions.
man. Yeah.
Ah, ah. Why hasn't the Justice Department or anybody done anything about that? Don't you think, Paul? Don't you think that's outrageous?
They're afraid of
And
the
you're
Dixie
you're the one
Mafia.
telling me that
They're
there's
absolutely
nothing.
scared of the
Yeah, you're
Dixie
the one telling
Mafia,
me there's
dude.
nothing to prosecute. No. There's plenty to prosecute, Paul. There's plenty to prosecute. How is your grandma making $4,000 $3,000 campaign donations to Democrats across the United States out of a 1,200 square foot hovel in Upper Peninsula of Michigan? How the hell is that happening? And
Yeah.
yet, I can show you that ironclad evidence that is supposedly going on. And we know who's doing it. All right? But because the Republicans' hands are dirty too, ain't going to do shit.
Oh,
So
they're all dirty. No, they're all they're all dirty.
When red isn't nearly as dirty as Act Blue. But as we found out during the Clinton administration, yeah, we really suck. But that guy got sucked off. And no, that's not going to convince anybody. If you're dirty, they all say, fuck you.
Well,
We're just going to dig in. Now, I did promise to be quiet, but I'm going to go back to Monk JD now. All right.
So I would say, which we don't have, by the way, a conservative, like JC says, an investigator or prosecutor
No.
take this on in the way, and the best example, and it comes back to what we're supposed to be talking about tonight, is the President's Day. And I just got back from a really awesome trip. Where President Trump pushed all the way up to the border of Iran without any intention of making an invasion. His intention was to gather irrefutable intelligence.
Mhm.
So what happened when he sent, and we're not talking third tier, second tier airborne guys, we're talking tier one guys. We're talking Delta, and to a lesser regard, SEALs, but mostly Delta, who are the guys that got in Venezuela.
Maduro.
Top tier, top shelf. You don't mess with those guys, right? And so what he did by putting those guys out on the frontier, he found out where the leadership's going to hide to keep from being found. He found out where they're going to move their stuff into final action to defend. He found out how they're going to jockey their ships into position. He found out what they were going to arm and what armament they're going to use on the strike platforms, airships, fighter jets. He found out all of this information by just going, ugh. And so, to a lesser degree, if the conservative movement would have done that in Georgia, to find out, it would ferret out that stuff that JC's talking about. It would ferret all that kind of stuff because they'd go, holy crap, but we just don't have anybody on the federal, state, or local level that's Trump's peer that could do that.
Or when you say his peer, you're talking about his peer as a patriot.
Yeah.
Brian Kemp is as corrupt as any Democrat you will ever meet. Brad Raffensperger is a fucking criminal, all right? He should be in jail tonight.
Yeah, and all that's generational,
Chris
JC.
Parr, the Attorney General of Georgia, is Roscoe P. fucking Coltrane.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, nothing changes but the date in Boss Hogg's Georgia. I mean, we all watched Dukes of Hazzard. We thought it was funny. It's not funny.
Well, but all right, great. That brings me full circle.
Fannie Willis?
That brings me full circle. Hold on. That brings me full circle back to AOC could win the presidency because we're stuck talking about this shit and not talking of bringing any solution to the problem. We're just bitching about the people we hate.
What would you like us to talk about as a solution, Sean?
No, I'm asking you because you're providing all the problems. What do we fix?
Well, I think we nominate Vance. That's what I think. I mean, the fact is, and I think we use Vance to talk more because Trump, as I've identified as warrior King David, and as Paul has testified tonight, Trump is doing wondrous things that nobody knows about, and that he often cannot talk about because as a orator, he is blunt, a blunt instrument, and many don't understand what he's saying. I've seen Vance in action in debates with a goofball named Tim Walz, who should also be in prison.
Oh,
All right. I mean, the guy's obviously a militant homosexual. Anyway, and his lieutenant governor is even worse. She's a militant lesbian idiot. I mean, she makes Rosie O'Donnell look like Albert Einstein. Okay, I mean, Minnesota is the white windowless van of the Midwest. Listen, you come to this podcast for this, folks. I mean, you gotta go with it. All right.
The windowless fan of the Midwest.
All right. I mean,
I'm crying. I can't.
Okay. The point being that you've got to get serious about this, and you've got to do something. And I actually am wondering, where the hell is Rick Grinnell? He's like the most effective member of this administration at the Trump Kennedy Center. He's out supposedly trying to turn California red. That's fine. Rick, brother, we need you now. Okay, we need effective leadership in the executive branch down from Trump, not named Vance. We need communication. You communicate very well. I know you're down in Venezuela negotiating for hostages with Maduro and all the rest of that, but we need you up here. We need you in DC. We need you to mitigate some of this nonsense and to cut through the clutter because he can do it.
He's not negotiating with Maduro, just not to put too fine a point on it.
Well, no, I mean, Maduro's in prison. So, no, I know he's not negotiating with Maduro.
I sorry to interrupt all the way around.
No, I
Sean, I got a
want to shut
technical
up. I want
problem.
you to talk. Go ahead.
No,
Right.
I'm just saying I keep getting a red flashing on my
On the laptop.
camera icon. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Well, I can
No,
hear
but we
you
can hear you,
now,
but
but
we can't see you. But
your
it's
camera didn't go
okay.
down.
Your words will still come through. Go ahead and
Yeah,
say
no,
them.
hold on. Well, we could see if we could fix this camera too. But yeah, your camera is now down, but we can hear you audio. So
Okay, so
if you look down towards the bottom of the screen on your Rumble Studio,
right.
you should be able to click on the camera
Oh yeah,
icon
yeah.
and select the camera you want. There
You're
you go.
back.
So, but why did it go off?
It did.
Don't ask
It
why.
did. It turned dark.
It's
Try
weird because
but try.
I've got it down low, you know what I mean? So I don't have that ribbon at the bottom because I keep my screen as big as I can.
Yeah.
You look really
Then
good.
it went off. And then when I scrolled up, like you said, go to the icon had a line through it. And I'm like, I didn't do that.
That was, and I'm not sure why that is, whether it was a tap of the mouse or it was something that happened
Yeah.
through Rumble Studio.
Okay. Oh,
But
never mind.
you're
Sorry to
back,
interrupt.
you're back on.
If you need somebody to fill some space, I can bitch about technology tonight. I had my own story, but we go ahead.
Oh,
Antivirus protection was gone. I had to look it back up and find it and go in and put the key back in. They just turned it off. Go ahead, Sean. Whatever you're
Holy
doing.
crap. Look at that.
Oh, she's pretty hot.
Oh, shit. Fine.
Reporting what is being called a geomagnetic storm. This is a phenomenon caused by a massive.
Stay tuned to this channel for continuous coverage.
There, she's in her Cybertruck. All right.
I love you.
Yeah, of course,
I'm on
nobody
my way.
left their
I need you to
Prius door
hide.
open.
Get underground.
I've got a phone. Hold on.
So that's not how aircraft behave when they crash, but it's still cool.
I've got a point, and that's part of it.
Pretty cool though. Yeah.
I hate black mascara on the top and the bottom.
Yeah, I know. Her eyes were not believable, but the rest of it looked pretty good. Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, she's a lesbian? Oh no, the mom, okay.
Is that her daughter?
Yeah, that's your daughter. Wait.
I think she's had enough, Sean. This reminds me of Speed.
So wait.
She's not as cute as Sandra
Well,
Bullock.
you guys are obviously identifying things. Just come in your queue that you're seeing from this video clip.
Alright. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's it.
We've got the airbag.
I think that's it.
Looks like the chick from Transporter 2.
Good morning, Sleeping Beauty.
There he is, yeah.
Hold on.
Why don't you get the president on the phone?
Counterfeit cash himself.
You have her.
I'll be right there.
Oh my
Alright,
God, that is so
alright,
badass.
so
Did you make that?
hold on, JC, just hold on with your cynical ass. The reason I played that clip is because that is 2 days ago, modern ability of AI to produce content that people would watch.
Did
I
you
would
make
watch
that?
that even with the known errors of a Tesla truck having the engine sound, of the impossible jumps. But
Yeah.
why is it an impossible jump? Because you see it in every Marvel movie. Why like this?
Yeah.
We're approaching the singularity of indie people, young, brilliant young people that are artists that would never have made it in Hollywood because Hollywood's a closed loop
Loop.
system
Yeah.
of just
Right, you have to bang Harvey Weinstein to get a part. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh.
producing amazing, amazing content. And so this I bring up as just an example. And you guys identified some things where you're like, that doesn't make sense. But then I get, well, does it make sense when there's a tree that calls himself Groot? Everybody fell in love with Groot,
Good point.
right? So you're telling me that these AI artists, this guy said he put this 2-minute, 30-second clip together in 24 hours of his life, including a 6-hour sleep cycle.
All right.
Really?
Yeah, 24 hours he spent on it for 2.5 minutes. We're looking at the we're looking at the
Just
budget
imagine
of Hollywood level.
imagine what I'm going to be able to do when I get this GoPro.
Well, I,
Paul, are you okay?
All
I
I'm
just,
saying is that you guys have no idea where AI
yeah.
really is. And that includes all of the things around you.
You're saying I don't know that? I mean, I've been
Hold
on Instagram.
uh,
I've seen AI Instagram teddies. Yeah, I know.
hold on. No, I'm not talking about social media. I'm
All
talking
right.
about AI that's going to impact all of life.
Can,
Edward
can I
AI
give you an
tool.
example?
Yes, please.
This is a real life example. Okay. So, uh, everybody knows what a CRM is.
Yeah,
It's a customer relation management tool.
Salesforce. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Salesforce is one of them.
Right,
We didn't
right.
get Salesforce because it's too expensive.
Of
Uh,
course.
but we got one with an AI attachment, a proposal attachment. So when we get a request for proposals called an RFP, comes from the government, and it's usually 200 or 300 pages of what they want, wills and shalls. So in the old days, in my generation, we would go through there and do Control F and put will and shall, and that became our compliance matrix. That's what we had to do.
Right, yeah, that experience also took about 6 months to 18 months to go
Oh, for
through,
God's
depending how
sakes.
big the
It was
package was.
unbelievable, Sean. You know that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we do now in less than 2 hours is I upload the RFP into the AI tool. I take my recent and relevant past performance on proposals that we've already won and we're performing. And my prompt is about a paragraph, but in a couple of sentences, just between us girls, it basically says, run a comparison against the RFP using this past performance and see where our strengths and weaknesses are.
Right.
Right? I
Right,
go make a
without
cup
giving
of
away
coffee
what
on
your
the K
actual
cup
thoughts
and I
are.
come back and it's done.
Yeah, and then you
It's
just
done.
scan it as a human, and you go, "Well, shit, that's better than I would have done."
And it's
It
a great
it
tool.
it
So
it
then all I have to do is go through and make sure it's appropriate. I mean, make sure there's we
Yeah,
didn't miss anything or, that kind of stuff.
no glitches, no nothing. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
glitches. Yeah.
on that, I saw I wish I had the video for it. I saw a really great example, probably from Claude, which I don't know if you guys should like Claude or dislike Claude. They've had some issues of them having a customer service bot as a phone bot, and they ran a 3-minute test on it as it was a Delta agent dealing with an angry customer in an airport who had been canceled twice and was trying to get home. And the guy's right, he's got a GoPro instead of because he's talking on his phone. And he's got a GoPro and he's got it faced on his phone, or he'll turn sometimes and look at this. And it's a 3-minute conversation with a agent, AI agent, but you would never know you were not talking to a human.
Human.
The cadence, the empathy, all of the things are there. We are at the singularity of where AI starts to fill all of these positions. Go ahead,
You
Paul.
sound like you
Yeah.
sound
So
like you should be
the
on.
other
You
thing
sound like you should be on Bannon's show. Singularity. Joe Allen replaced by Sean. I can
Singularity is
see it.
different. Singularity is
All right.
different when it comes to Bannon. Go ahead, Paul.
Well, Bannon's
Yeah.
got his
So
own problems.
what we do, or what our AI does, without being verbal, I'll take the results of that, what I just told you. I write the prompts, upload to RPath Performance. It squirts out a product. And then the AI says in written format, hey, would you like me to create an executive summary based on the analysis that we just did that you could put into your proposal? And I go, why? E,
Tom
yeah.
Human. Tom Human.
Yeah. And then it goes, writes my executive summary, dude.
Unreal. I know, John, you need to use it a little more. I know you started using, I think you use the enemy, Sam Altman's Chat GPT, but there's many other AIs to use.
Look, I needed to cancel some people like really quick and
I
send some
Did it
Bro,
work?
angry
Well, hold on. Did it
angry.
work? Was it effective? Did you get proper language to send on termination papers or on doing all of the things you need to do?
Hard to say when I had the gal in the salon melting down for 2 straight hours screaming about what an asshole I was. I wasn't sure that it worked so well.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
but
I don't. I
but
think
there's been no
that
repercussions
that's the
after that.
human issue. The human issue is you should have said, "Here's what I told you," and you gave it to her.
Well,
It's time to leave.
if
And
you would
I get it. It's your human response
see
was,
what's at
"I'll hear you out."
5:52. If I could take 90 seconds, I will give you the secret behind my business and why I'm really glad that no one was willing to invest any money with me, including myself. Um, because I've been on a journey the last couple of weeks to find out what's really going on because this business model has always worked, but just think of it as a legacy dining room that needs to keep a staff employed. And now Five Guys and Fries is right next door kicking out burgers and fries for thousands of people, and next door you can't get anybody at Denny's to wait on the tables. Makes sense, right? But here's what went down. Um, hot women, Paul, are the key to retail. They're the key to service.
yeah.
Hot women at the desk, hot women hairstylists, hot women waitresses, hot women hostesses. We all notice them. They make things happen. Hot women bartenders, they get a following. You're wondering, where the hell is he going with this? I'm about to spring the trap on you, Paul, buddy. I can tell you. I got this from my landlord, dude. I want you to understand I didn't think this up by myself. So if you
All
want to
right.
generate foot, if you want to, Sean, if you want to generate foot traffic, you hire hot women and you get them to promote your business.
I already
And
told you in the green room that's the current mode, but we're not in the current mode anymore.
I
We're
know
in the
that,
AI
but
mode.
we aren't that far out of it that we aren't still thinking that we could get it. That's the
We are
point.
far enough out of
All
it.
right. So here's the thing. What am I offering these hot women hairstylists? I'm offering the opportunity to give me their lives for 2.5 years to build up a book of clients, do all this hair and do all this great shit so they can make $100,000 and then they can make their own schedule and take their clients in advance, right? Paul, for $6.99, they can turn on their webcam and do that today.
It's a good model. It's not a good model currently.
Paul,
Anyway, so all right.
or they can turn on their webcam on OnlyFans and put it out there for $6.99,
Let me
and they got it immediately instead of having to work for it.
let me show you 34 years ago. Again, people talking about old models.
Got local environmental problems, regional problems like acid rain. Now we've got a whole new category of global or strategic problems, which include the hole in the ozone layer, which now could appear above the United States, global climate change, the destruction of the rainforests at a rate that means they'll be totally gone in another few decades unless we stop, the pollution of the oceans and the atmosphere, and the like. These represent brand new challenges that call for a new kind of response.
Rush, I've listened to you many afternoons, as you know, and you tend to, I don't want to say you dismiss all of these issues, but at least you dismiss them as having been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Well, absolutely. I don't think that there's anything conclusive about what Senator Gore said, with all due respect. I think, for example, there is no ozone hole over the United States. If we want to get into detailed discussion of ozone depletion, we can, but I think, Ted, that there is not a crisis. See, this is the problem I have. I don't think the Earth is fragile. I don't think the ecology is fragilely balanced. And I think that the doomsday industry that is typified by members of the Hollywood acting community who say we've only got 10 years left to save our planet, we've got to act now. There's no way, if what these people say is true, that we can solve these problems in 10 years anyway. It's budget time in Washington. NASA's being cut. And I think that this fright and doom scenario is designed to frighten people. Everything in this country today seems to be a crisis. We can't do anything without it being having to face it as a crisis. We don't have any time to think about it. There are as many scientists, maybe even more, on the opposite side of all of these doomsday predictions. And I think that
That's
they need to be listened to. Yeah. Oh, yes, there are.
That's not true. If I can jump in there, Ted, where the ozone hole is concerned, for example, the linkage between these chemicals, chlorofluorocarbons, and the ozone hole is established. There may be 1/100th of 1% of the scientific community that disputes it.
Oh, no. It's far more than that. Ted, that the environmental movement, as fueled by the militants who lead it, I think is the new home of socialism.
The ozone hole is threatening to open up above North America, above Kennebunkport, and still reacting.
Oh my gosh.
34 years ago, the
Isn't that
same
disgusting?
argument
Yeah.
about
Isn't that
climate change.
disgusting?
Yeah.
And Al Rushbo, just like, yeah, no, none of that's happening. Show me where the ozone layer is. Well, I can show you where the ozone layer is. No, you can't.
And none of
Oh,
it,
it's right above
did
Connecticut.
happen. It was complete and utter bullshit. And all the soccer moms that sat there and drank it in on Ted's show and felt good about their virtue because they were so serious about the environment were left unrequited.
Just, I had to play that. Jeez, I
So-
That is awesome, dude. I'm glad.
So-
I would never have found that, but I actually remember that.
I bet
Oh, I
you
do
did.
too.
Do you
Yeah.
remember? Do you remember Leonard Nimoy doing it 10 years earlier?
Oh,
Doing
sure.
a
Yeah.
documentary.
Actually.
I should. It's an hour long. I don't want to do that, but I
I'm gonna
should bring
go.
up
I'm
some
gonna
clips
go
from
off the
that.
reservation for a few minutes because I remember the show that came after, where ABC put out there that they were talking about the North American Man-Boy Love Association and the fact that they wanted to make things safe for boys that wanted to connect with men. You just think about that for a minute. And that was on ABC late night at that same time. And was that not a harbinger of what we're looking at? I mean, these people, they don't lie about what they're up to.
Okay.
Hey, so
Nambla.
JC, you said
So sorry, Sean. There's two things I want to bring up. I'm not a prude, you know, but there's two things that you've said in the last 5 minutes. I have no idea what you're saying. The North
What would you
American
like to
Man
know?
Boys Love Association,
Yeah.
and you said something about my fans or my
Oh,
OnlyFans.
okay.
what is
OnlyFans.
it?
Sean, Paul, do you realize that any
Keep
young
it
lady
YouTube
in the
safe,
United
please. Keep it YouTube safe.
All right, I will.
Oh,
Any
is it?
young lady,
Oh, it's one of
any
those.
It's not safe.
Paul, any young lady in the United States that wishes to open up an OnlyFans account need merely turn on her webcam and invite viewers to see her in her full glory. Fair?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
And Paul,
Is
they
it like
make
a
hundreds of
dating thing where I've heard of
no,
Tinder where
no,
you
no, no.
swipe left,
Oh,
swipe right,
Brother,
and
it's the
yeah.
full Monty.
It's
And they make
hold on. What it is? So it's you get on this site. You find and it doesn't matter what it is. You could just want there are OnlyFans people that just talk about succulent plants, and you go, well, that's fucking weird. But whatever, people subscribe to it.
yeah.
But there's also ladies or fellas that are like, I will do some things, but I will only do some things if you subscribe to me for $10 a month or $100 a month. And then they say, hey, do you want to go private? Well, that's $500 just for
right.
an hour,
Oh,
Paul,
wow.
right?
7 years ago, I heard a presentation from a guy at a trade show that said there's 3 professions where you can make $100,000 a year without a college degree. One is a hairstylist, one is a bartender, one is a tattoo artist. Well, there's a fourth one now, and it's an OnlyFans model.
I hate to sound like an idiot, but I had no idea, dude.
Well,
Well, brother,
since that one's passing, other things will pop up. The industry of sex has always been around, and this is
No. Like I said, I'm not a prude.
right.
I know
Paul,
about it.
Paul, it's been cloaked in the service industry in a hot waitress, in a hot server, Hooters, for Christ's sake. I mean, the point is, we go in there to interact and have what did they say? Hooters used to talk about a vicarious sexual experience with your Hooters girl. It's true. I mean, you did. You flirted with her a little bit or whatever. You gave her a good tip, whatever. I mean, that's how you generate a following. Well, now you don't need to.
But that was AOL online human
Right.
being experience. Now we do everything at the speed of the internet.
Sound, right, speed of light. But you don't need to go through the preliminaries now. You don't need to know how to do hairstyles. You don't need to know how to give good service and a wait on the table. You just click on your webcam and pull down your panties, and there you go. All right, I mean that's what it is.
Wow.
Well, listen, I think the majority of it is that, but there's other people who are just lonely and they find companionship through these paid services.
Of
Uh,
course.
it could be whatever that companionship is. I'm not
Oh
talking
yeah.
about, and so
Yeah.
they're
No, I
so
got you.
I
Yeah.
well, and so they're like, well, you got a free trial, you got a week, or you got 21 days of free talking to me. But listen, honey, I gotta I gotta pay my bills, I gotta pay my rent. And so a
Right.
couple of different things happen is where then you get into this is, well, can you subscribe to me? It's only 21 bucks a month.
Right.
And some will or some won't. And then the others where they get, and this doesn't, it's cross sex, is, well, listen, honey, right? I'm busy. But listen, my mom's sick. I got 4
Yeah.
kids. Is there any way, if you won't
Is there
subscribe,
any
can you just give
way?
me a
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
one-time payment of pick the number, whatever they
Well,
pick,
it's
and they pick this, hold on, they pick this number because of the past conversations they've had with this person, this human, and they've vetted what they think is comfortable. Even better, some of them are AI bots, and they can read it better than any chick, human chick.
So is OF OnlyFans?
Yes,
yeah.
OnlyFans.
So I follow
It,
this guy Joey Swole. He's a
Yeah,
workout dude, and
yep.
I love his gym content about, there's a guy my age in there trying to work out and he doesn't know what to do and stuff. And a
God
couple of
love
these
him.
big gargantuan guys come over and they're real nice to him and show him how to properly do the thing. And, I like that wholesome stuff.
All that. Yeah.
But he also does these other ones where this chick is like, can you believe this guy walked through my photo or whatever? And he
Yeah.
goes, we don't care about your OF.
Oh, there
You
it is.
shouldn't be filming in the video in the gym, that kind of thing. And now
Yeah.
it's all coming together for me.
That's what he's talking about. And Paul, the ultimate own is this. You're sitting there with this gal and you're chatting with her on Tinder or whatever it is. And she's saying, well, I want to go to this restaurant. And you go, okay, that sounds interesting. You say, you going to make reservations? And I looked at the menu online. Okay, what do you think? Well, it looks great. We going to do it? Well, I don't know. I mean, after the wine and the food and everything, that's like 250, 260 bucks. He says, I think I'm just going to pay the $6.99.
That's where, listen, um,
Wow.
I'm going
that
to
industry,
pass on the date.
the
I'm going
industry,
to pay the
I am
$6.99.
keeping it as YouTube safe as I can. The industry we just explained, that's been around since the beginning of humans, is about to get taken over by $6 a month
I'm sorry.
AI.
That's just so fucking funny.
It is. It is. I mean, because
Are you guys
well,
making fun of me?
no, no, not you, not you. I'm just saying that
No, no.
all of this
Oh,
whole industry that's been going on for
Oh,
thousands of
okay.
years is
Paul,
just
what
going to
we're
replace, like, so the hobots would remember, like, you remember when we were doing
Robots.
spaces, we were talking about hobots where
yeah,
they have this AI, back then, a really bad AI generated profile picture that makes them look 15 years younger. And they were only talking on spaces because it wasn't video, and you're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
AI has watched all of this stuff because it was told to watch all of this stuff, and it can do all of this on the super cheap. What I think JC was getting to is that all of those jobs, including the hot chicks, they're gone. They will be replaced by an AI.
And they don't even know that they've
Oh,
screwed themselves because they don't know how to do anything other than stick a camera up their ass.
It'd be hot.
Yeah. They have guys fall all over themselves, but all they have to do is pay the $6.99. So who cares? By the way, Paul, when you do your daily prayers tonight, thank God for Tanya because she cares about you.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
All right, and these young guys, good luck, boys. You got no chance, man.
Wow.
I good luck. We'll
yeah,
help you as best we can, but holy crap, I would not want to be young today. I mean, I made enough mistakes myself.
dude, I've just never gone down that road. You know,
Well, and you
and I've
never
been married
would.
26 years. And I'm being honest. It just never occurred to me.
It wasn't
I mean,
available.
and
Hold
I'm
on.
not talking about, you're at, I'm not going to say Walmart because it never happens there, but Dillard's or something like that, where you're like, damn. And
Yeah.
I have the great fortune that Tanya goes, damn.
Right.
or she'll go, honey,
She likes beards.
look
Yeah.
at that. I'm like, I can
Yeah.
see her butt cheeks. I think
All right.
Yeah.
I should follow her around for a while and make sure they don't fall out.
Yeah. Honestly, there was a lot of good women in that era. They're just like, yeah, I know what the gasoline is to get the motor running.
Yeah.
It's totally normal.
I-
That doesn't bother me.
No. Listen. If you've got somebody who cares about you, you're way ahead of the game because
Yeah, dude.
not too many
100%,
people
man.
do.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you that young men, because of everything that's happened with
Yeah.
Marxism and socialism and post World War II,
Yeah.
and it being told that they're just white male chauvinists or they're KKK, they're going to absolutely pay $6.99
Yeah.
to have a chick to talk to,
Wow.
right?
And
Why wouldn't they?
Wow.
it'll be a lot cheaper than what we went through.
Right, it totally different. Yeah, obviously different life, totally
To hell
different.
with you, JC.
All right, JC, you said you wanted to do Lincoln Day. Let's do that before we close out. Explain
Well,
Lincoln Day. Do I need to
we were
explain
talking
Lincoln
about
Day?
the world. Lincoln Day. We were talking about presidents, and
Two of them
everybody talks. You
specifically.
look at Mount Rushmore. You see Washington. You see Jefferson. You see Teddy Roosevelt, who commissioned Mount Rushmore, so he's on there. And what was it, Jackson up there? I mean, who the hell ever? I mean, what's the fourth guy? John,
Hold on,
are
but
you there?
Lincoln Day is it's actually specifically about two presidents.
Right,
Uh,
Washington, Lincoln. Right,
and they have a birthday that kind of
very
circles
close.
almost.
Well, we used to get both of them off school, but now we're on Lincoln Day. But I absolutely one of the things that gives me hope about the nation is the following. Just as the Patriots show up at the last minute everywhere throughout our history, I think Donald Trump has shown up at this minute in our history. They had the wheels they had the wheels greased for the communist takeover of the United States and all the rest of that. And this guy gummed up the works and they overreacted and they absolutely made him bigger than he needed to be. And now I see Mark Mitchell, my favorite Cassandra, going on about how he's turning into the establishment. No, he's not. I mean, what Paul said the other night about what he's got going on in Iran means that he is not the establishment. I mean, we're extracting elite foreign national, we can do a regime change without even fighting a war. I mean, with a 2-hour regime change. This dude is as pro-American as any president we've ever had. And I just wanted to give a shout out to the president that we realize you've got our back, sir. And some of us have been casualties along the way. Our dreams didn't turn out like we thought they would or what we hoped they would. But we've got your back. And you're in the group. I mean,
So
if you're going to tell me that, what?
Lincoln was born February 12th, 1809. And then
Lincoln's up there. I think
hold on,
Lincoln and Roosevelt. Sorry.
Washington was born February 16th. So this holiday
It's actually Washington's birthday.
Up until 1971 was recognized as either Washington Lincoln Day or Lincoln Day. There was a lot of fanfare for what Lincoln did in the slavery. But hear me out. So that's why it was 4 days shifted to Lincoln. But it was always known as Washington Lincoln Day or Lincoln Washington Day. And then in 1971, of course, the Civil Rights Movement happened. And so they're like, well, let's just name a President's Day. Did you know there's 10 U.S. states that do not recognize President's Day?
What?
10. Now, at the federal level, it's recognized as President's Day, even though it's, let's call it what it is, Lincoln Day or Lincoln Washington Day or Washington Lincoln Day. There's still 10, including North Carolina, who do not recognize it as a holiday. However, their state governments take the day off anyways.
Oh, of course they do. I mean, that's what they did. The banks are closed. What a shock, right?
So, yeah. So there you go. It's Washington Lincoln Day, or a lot of people in the Midwest, in the Plains, would know it as just Lincoln Day. It's not necessarily President's Day.
If we make it through our current crisis,
what? Hold on. Why does it just recognize these two presidents?
Because
because of their contributions.
Because of the contributions. Would you? So I saw a lot of stuff online today. They're like, well, it doesn't matter the president, like whether they hated George Bush or whether they hated Nixon or whether they hated. The reason it was called Washington Lincoln Day or Lincoln Day was to commemorate those two specific presidents.
Of course.
That being said, if you're a Republican, would you commemorate a birthday of Woodrow Wilson?
Fuck no.
Would you commemorate a birthday of Joseph Robinette Biden?
Fuck.
And
no.
This is why it was about two specific presidents and not all presidents.
Right.
It is not President's Day. It is Lincoln Day or Lincoln Washington Day.
Sean, it feels like a fucking participation trophy. Doesn't it? I mean, the idea that Joseph Robinette Biden is expressed in the same breath as George Washington, really? The only one who belongs there.
Woodrow Wilson.
The only one that belongs there. The only one that belongs there. The only one that belongs. The only one that belongs there is Trump, and who may go down as the greatest of all time. He might. Depends on how it turns out, right?
Well, if you look at the monument, there is room for 2 or 3 more presidents,
That's
at least
right.
2 more. In the granite, that Thomas Jefferson is there. I think it's funny that Roosevelt's like pushed in the back. He's he's all the way back in there with his little mustache sticking out.
Paul, that's where the corporate sponsor goes. I mean, he was the
Yeah.
national trust guy, so yeah.
Yeah. It's the we'd like to thank everybody for coming out for the Pepsi Cola Mount Rushmore Day.
Okay.
All right, ladies, I'm going to close this one out. I had a good
All
time.
right.
Real quick for all listeners, if you cannot find this on X immediately after, something is going on X. So check out our YouTube, check out our Rumble. I will post this video tomorrow to our subscriber page on X. Let's
Sounds
close
good.
this out.
That's not a threat. That's an honor.
Yo, what's up? Oh, I think he. Hold on. I think he had a opportunity here. Yeah, everything. Why? What did you think?
No, I thought he was a little
Off? Yeah. I thought.
angrier. Yeah, he was a little angrier.
I'm pretty sure he's been drinking too much. Hold on. Time out. I gotta close this room.